everyone. I'm Bethany Losada. Thank you so much for joining me today in my podcast, Overcomers, where we talk about how to overcome life's difficulties with a friend, faith, and a cup of tea. Today, I have my son Lucas with me again to help me in our summer series. Last week, we talked about how to overcome struggles in our family vacations. And today, we're going to talk about how to overcome the struggle of screen time over the summer break. Today, we are trying a tea that we got in our trip that we just took to Bali. So it is called Rosella tea. Let's see, what do you think, Lucas? Well, the color is very dark red. I steeped it in a hot pot of water.
Tastes kind of plain. It's either a you like it tea or you don't like it tea. There's no in between. Not my favorite. For me, I don't know why, but it tastes kind of eggy.
Eggy.
I don't know.
Well, I remember when we were in Bali, they did serve it to us also like as an iced tea with sugar, and I liked that a lot. I like it warm as well, but I think the iced tea with sugar was really good. And this is the little baggie it came in. It just has the Rosella tea, and it shows you the dried flowers. And it says Rosella is rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. It helps to protect against coughs and colds and builds your immune system. So it's pretty good for you. Okay, so we're staying on the theme of wearing soccer jerseys this summer. Lucas, tell us what we're wearing today.
This is the PSG soccer jersey. It stands for Paris Saint-Germain, and they play in Paris. They're a Paris team. And at one point, they had all the GOATs, the greatest of all times, but they didn't really win that many titles as a team. So their team is kind of just falling apart, and they're selling all their good players. But I still think that they are a pretty good team.
I think I know a couple of the players. I've heard you talk about enough. Mbappe plays for PSG,
yes,
right?
But now he's going to Real Madrid.
Vinny Jr.?
Nope, he plays for Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. Okay, so I knew one of them.
Yeah,
Who else?
Mbappe.
Can you tell us another?
I can pretty much name all of them.
Okay, give me one other one. Who's your favorite besides Mbappe?
Besides Mbappe, probably Vitinha. He's a midfielder. I'm pretty sure he's Portuguese. He's pretty good.
Okay, awesome. Well, I know that the Euro Cup is starting now as well, so there's lots of fun soccer to be watching this summer. Let's start talking about the struggle that we can have as families, especially parents and kids, dealing with screen time over the summer. I know kids are anxious to get out of school and away from all of the homework and work, and lots of times you're looking forward to what
Just
in the summer?
screen time bumming.
Yeah, screen time, bumming around, not having responsibilities or doing much. So let's talk about a few things that we can do as parents and setting up some rules and expectations in our families to make screen time enjoyable and have it part of the summer, but not overtake our summer or create moodiness and friction in the home. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we like to do at the start of the summer is talk about expectations, rules, how our summer is going to flow, and where screen time fits in. Usually I like to talk about several expectations or things that my kids are going to be expected to do throughout the summer. And the first one is chores. I think it's important to still realize the responsibility that you have in the home, and for you to learn someday how to take care of yourself. When you go away to college, I want you to know how to do your own laundry, clean your apartment, and take care of things, right? So each day, I'll give each of my kids a couple of chores that they need to accomplish. What are some of your least favorite chores, Lucas, that I give you?
My least favorite chores are probably dusting, because I just get horrible allergies from that. Or that's pretty much it. All other chores. I don't like doing the dishwasher.
The dishwasher, okay.
It's easy, but I just don't like doing it.
And what's your favorite chore?
Well, the chore that I do the most is cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah, I think
it's a
so,
very
right?
humbling thing to say.
Cleaning the bathroom. But you'll know how to do it someday in your own home, right? Mm-hmm. So my kids take turns doing different chores, and we try to do it all together. I'll be doing chores at the same time. So I give myself some chores and each of the kids, and then we get busy doing it. After chore time, there's also time during the day and the weeks where we're going to be healthy with our bodies and do some exercising. Maybe that's going for a jog, or going on a treadmill in the house. Maybe it's just going outside and kicking the ball around, practicing soccer skills. Whatever it is, something to get your body moving, being active and healthy, right? What's your favorite thing to do to be active in the summer?
My favorite thing, probably running, since I like cross country and track. Running, doing soccer skills outside or inside, since it's really hot here in Texas in the summer.
And we try to mix it up too. So sometimes they're doing some exercise as a family or individually. And then we also try to incorporate doing some sports camps locally where you can go and do maybe a soccer camp. And there's a running club this summer that they're going to join. And usually they're happier doing it with friends. So when we have those opportunities, we like to take them. So we have doing some chores, having some exercise, outdoor activity time. How else do we like to fill our ordinary days when we're just at home?
Downtime. I like to have a lot of downtime in my room. Maybe it's just reading, playing with some toys, listening to an audiobook, or just doing little hobbies that you enjoy. Maybe if it's gardening, just go out and garden. If it's playing soccer, you can just do that, and it counts as your exercise. Or you can just paint, or just do your hobbies and what makes you just calm down and just settle down and reflect.
Yeah, we do room time. Even at their ages of 13 and 50, we'll be like, okay, why don't you just go to your room and spend some room time? And when they're younger too, it's super important to have that built-in room time where they can just go to their room and have to reflect, be creative, and do something on their own. I know my daughter likes to listen to music as well, and that's the time she likes to organize her room, and she's just there letting her thoughts go. Lucas, not so much on the cleaning, more playing, maybe doing Legos, reading books, whatever it is, it helps get them to be creative. I know a word that you might hear a lot in your home over the summer is I'm
bored.
Yes, lots of kids like to say I'm bored. You learned a lesson from your grandpa a couple of years ago about saying I'm bored. What did he tell you?
So me and my sister were complaining that we were bored because we were just sitting around doing nothing all day, and we're saying I'm bored. My grandpa says, if you're bored, that means you're boring. He was saying that if we say that we're bored and we're just complaining because we're sitting around doing nothing, that we're boring people because we're just sitting around doing nothing. And if we get up and be active and destroy that boredom, then we're not going to be boring people anymore.
Yeah, you have to be creative. You have to use your mind. When you're stuck in front of a screen all the time, watching TV, playing games, you're constantly being fed information and being entertained, and you don't have to think on your own. When you take those screens and constant flow of entertainment away, you have to learn how to entertain yourself, how to be creative, how to think of something to do and use your mind. It's so important to have that free space for your child built in where they have to get creative and work through being bored, because being bored is part of life, and it's important to experience and learn how to make your own fun.
I remember when one part of the summer a few years ago, my mom got sick, and me, my father, and my sister went to go play video games. We were planning on maybe doing it for an hour or 30 minutes, but it kind of escalated, and we played pretty much the whole day, taking very little breaks. And after that, the next day, and after when I went to bed, I had a big headache, and it did not feel good. So I knew it was because of video games, and I knew I should just do it in moderation. It's okay to have a little bit, but not a lot. On our car trips in Bali, there was a lot of driving, and we had brought our video games because it was a very long flight. So we were planning on playing our video games in the car on those very long trips. But then we realized if we play too long, we won't get to see the scenery, and the scenery is very beautiful. They have these very nice rice fields. So we decided to put down the video games for some time and look out the window and just enjoy the beauty. So we just took it in moderation. And it's not just screen time they have to take in moderation. It's also things like drinking, eating unhealthy things. And because if you eat too many unhealthy things, then you're going to harm your body. But if you just eat in moderation, like have a bag of chips every once in a while, that's good for you. It's healthy.
Mm-hmm. So basically the lesson that we want to teach our kids as parents with screen time, as with other areas of life, like Lucas was talking about food, drinking, spending our time and activities and money is using moderation. It's doing video games, having screen time, that's fun and it can be enjoyable and an activity that you really like to do, and that's fine. But doing it too much is when it can be unhealthy. You get a headache. You might get moody. Usually as parents, we know that our kid has had too much screen time when you go to take it away or tell them to put it down and they give you a mood. And all of a sudden they're just like a different person. They're grumpy and crabby and don't want to talk to you. That's usually your cue of we have surpassed the amount of time where it's healthy and good. So usually maybe it's 30 minutes when they're younger at a time, or maybe an hour, and then we can say that's enough. Using a timer and having an agreement for an allotted amount of time of screens is really helpful because you and your child already have that agreement and expectation. You can put that timer on. Maybe if your child really struggles with finishing something and putting something down, giving them a 5-minute warning so they know it's going to happen, so they can find a place to pause and put it down. That can be easy with TV shows or movies. Maybe we'll watch one movie because you know the allotted amount of time. Or with TV shows, okay, you can watch one episode, then we're going to take a break and do something else. And not running into a long marathon and keeping it going too long, because that really does create moodiness and discontentment, and it's harder to turn it off the longer that you're watching it. We also use screen time as a reward. When the kids are behaving really well, they've done their chores, had some exercise, had some room time. I know with my kids, they have some summer homework as well they have to do. Maybe your child doesn't have summer homework, but you can have them do reading. Maybe they need to do an hour of reading in order to do an hour of screen time. Whatever it is to help promote these other healthy habits that they can be doing throughout their day. Also, maybe it's not daily, but in your summer plans, finding some ways for your child to be able to volunteer is also a great way to spend their time. Lucas, you're going to be doing some volunteering this summer, right?
Yes, we just started today doing volunteering for a lot of little kids. It's called Stand By Me. And it's really fun because you get to see them, you get to see the joy on their faces when we come in and we greet them, we say hi, and it means a lot to them. And it's really a lot of fun, and it helps us just pass the time. And we're doing it, and it feels super good to help them.
What is your biggest struggle, do you think, with screen time, Lucas?
For me, it's when I get started, it's kind of hard to get stopped. Like I know the end, like if we're playing an hour, I'm like, how much can I do in this game in an hour? And if I don't get it finished, usually I'm like, hey, can I just play 5 more minutes? I really need to finish this real quick. But then my mom's like, no, you've already played for an hour. And I'm like, can I just finish this? And then I get moody because of that. And I'm like, just let me finish this. It'll take no time at all. But then she's like, turn it off. You have enough. And that's hard for me, just turning it off and knowing when enough is enough.
Yeah. So, from a young age until older, it's always a struggle keeping those timers and staying consistent as a parent. Because if you keep letting it go longer and longer each time, every day is going to be a fight because your child's going to keep pushing you every time. But staying strict to those time limits and your child realizing when you say it's over, and they get a chance to have that privilege again the next day. Reminding our kids that it's not a right. Screen time isn't a right. You don't get to do it whenever you want. It's a privilege, and it's something they can earn and enjoy. And teaching them to respect it like that and to have moderation in their life. Realize when enough is enough and when it's healthy and when it becomes unhealthy. And just trying to cultivate that in their mind, preparing them so they learn that lesson in their life as they get older. Lucas, anything else that you'd like to share about screen time?
I don't think so.
No. Well, I think we're going to end today just with the Bible verse concerning moderation, how important that is for us as parents to teach to our children to help encourage them making wise decisions in their life. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12 says, "Everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible for me, but I will not be mastered by anything." Just that reminder, just because you're allowed to have the screen time and video games doesn't mean that it's always healthy, and not to allow the screen time or video games to master over you and control you. You to be in control of yourself, able to make wise decisions. Lucas, would you close us in prayer today, please?
Yes, I will. Please pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for all you've given us, God. I just pray that we do everything in moderation, and that if it's screen time, that we do it enough and what's healthy, or if it's anything else like eating unhealthy things or drinking or spending our money, God, that we do it according to what you want us to do, God, and that we do everything unto you and model it after you, Lord. To your name we pray, you will be done. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for joining us today in Overcomers with a cup of tea. Can't wait to see you next time.